Welcome back to session 21 of Richard Burdick's Numismatic interview. We've been talking about Richard's incredible enameled coin collection here. These are his silver enameled coins, and we're going to continue taking a look at each of these and talking about them. Last time we kind of skipped ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at this little piece here. It's a barber quarter enameled with a gold bezel around it.
That's an exquisite piece. Look at the quality of workmanship. And oddly enough, that was the first enameled coin I'd ever bought. And I was just thrilled by it, interested about the fineness of work in this. And I also like the mounting of it. And I never saw another one until, I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago. It was oddly, it was done on the same bezel, had to be made by the same guy. It was a seated quarter. And they were very similar in quality and everything about them except the denomination. And Andy, tell me who owned that other piece.
Yeah, that's my wife.
It's actually it's kind of drawn us together, I think, those pieces.
Richard tried to buy it. Richard tried to buy it for me, and I gave it to my wife. So
yeah,
it was no longer for sale.
We have seen another one recently, though, in another collection. There was I think a barber quarter in there. Maybe there was some seated quarters, but I don't think they were the same
They had
style.
a couple barber quarters in the other collection, but they weren't the same quality.
Is this?
And they were just free and loose and not in a bezel or anything. So
okay, well, I thought I saw one in the photographs that are the same bezel.
Mm.
Yeah, I got a photograph of it.
Let's take a look at this piece here. This is a really interesting piece here. It's kind of falls in between the enameled.
It's both. It covers both.
And engraved.
It was engraved then enameled.
Yeah. SS Santa Rosa, May 7th and 8th, 1892. Sorry, I'm trying to get a good picture of this. The
Santa Rosa was a ship that traveled up and down the California coast, trading in goods. I mean, they would, from the northern part of California, they'd bring lumber back down, sell it. I think it stopped at San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, and maybe Los Angeles.
Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo in the reverses. And then we'll also, do you know what the coin is?
It's done on both sides. I don't think you can really tell. It's got reading on it, so it's probably American Morgan dollar.
How did you acquire that piece?
I bought that from a small-time coin dealer in the Long Beach Coin Show. Probably 7, 8 years ago, not that long ago.
We got some foreign pieces here. There's a beautiful Japanese yen.
That's the finest enameled Japanese yen I've ever seen. The quality of workmanship, the multitude of different colors. I've got a couple other pieces, but they're just not up to the quality and standard of this one.
Here's another British piece, which you said most of them were British.
Yeah, I'd say over 95% of the enamel coins you see are from the British Commonwealth. That's because they were made in Birmingham, and they used British coins. That particular piece that you had there, the portrait of the king. See, anything that's enameled on the obverse and show a bust of an actual person, especially a king, those are much more highly sought after than the normal British coin that you see enameled. Most of those are done on enameled reverses, but that's an obverse portrait. Very rare and much more in demand. Very difficult to find.
Well, here we have a beautiful French piece. Very nicely done. Also, a lot of different colors on it.
I've only seen one other piece enameled like that.
Next up we have a Spanish 8 real. It's again very nicely done. I like where they do the whole coin.
Yes. That's of extraordinary quality. There's no junk in here. These are all very high quality pieces. Preservation. I've got 3 or 4 or 5 other Mexican pieces, but that's by far the best one.
Here's another British piece here. Is this a trade piece?
I forgot actually.
Yeah.
It's that came out of the Leicester Merkin auction and was quite competitively sought after. There again, it's a portrait of a person, and those they're quite rare. They're very much in demand.
Nice. The shield with the flag emblem on it is very nice. So let's go to one of the most popular U.S. coins as a commemorative, the Columbian Expo, and
that was from the Leicester Merkin auction.
This is beautiful.
I've only seen one other of that obverse type, but it wasn't the quality of this piece.
Here's another beautiful one, set in a bezel.
That style of enameling, I don't know that I've ever seen before. It's almost from maybe a different period. It's definitely a different artist and a different method of manufacture. It's not quite as fine a quality as some of these other pieces, but it's a very interesting piece, especially the subject matter.
And here we have, is this a spinner or?
I'd have to look at it. I can't remember until I get them in.
Beautifully engraved, and the world is quite colorfully done. And on the back, it can be either a button or a brooch, or stand up on a desk. It looks like.
I can't remember. Or maybe the thing pulls out and it's like an easel.
It's two-sided also. Yeah, it looks like an easel. Two-sided.
That also came from the Leicester Merkin auction.
Very pretty, very pretty.
It
And
is pretty.
we'll take a look here at the last piece that we haven't talked about yet. Here's a beautiful piece from South America, One Soul. Beautiful coin. Let's take it and show everybody the entire panel again.
These are some of my favorite pieces. I've got a couple dozen other ones, but these are my top trade favorites. Let's put it that way.
Well, thank you very much for showing that with us and sharing that with us. We're going to go ahead and take just a moment and put that away so it doesn't get damaged. And then we're going to pull out one of the largest items in your collection next, and you can discuss this piece here. This is we'll do that in a moment.
Okay. I'm going to put those right there, so let's remember that they're there.
Tell us about this giant piece of Exonumia, please.
Well, these were made in Europe. Obviously, they're all European coins. I've only seen a few of these trays over the many years I've been going to coin shows. This one actually popped up in an auction. It might have been a Stax Bowers auction. And I decided to take a shot at it. I'd never actually owned one of these coin trays. It fit perfectly in my collection, so I was able to acquire it. I've owned one other one, oval shaped. Guy talked me out of it. I traded it away for something else we're going to look at here shortly. The other item, I loved them both, but the other one I wanted more.
We're going to go ahead and flip this one over. And show the reverse.
Most of those coins are German. A few Austrian.
Couple Polish, couple Russians.
Now, these silver coin trays are quite rare, but over the years I've seen two that had gold coins. One of those was in the, I think it was the last lot in the Amon Carter auction, 1984 stack sale. I know the guy who bought it.
Was the tray gold also, or was it?
The tray was sterling silver, yes, but all the coins were gold. I think there's even some territorial gold coins in there.
Wow.
$50 slugs.
Wow.
I know of one other tray that was even larger than the Amon Carter tray, and it had gold coins, predominantly U.S. and some slugs. But there were also some foreign coins, gold coins from around the world. Both those trays are in very strong hands, and I doubt they'll come on the market in my lifetime. But those are the only two sterling trays that I've ever seen with gold coins in them. Those are obviously much rarer than the silver coin trays, but you don't see very many of these. And I was fortunate to be able to buy this one and another one. Like I said, it got away from me.
Yep. Let's put that away, and we'll take a look at. Now you are a man who fancies a mug of beer, I've been told, and
I've drank a few in my days.
Tell us what we have here.
This came out of a small estate in Marshall, Michigan, which is one of the older cities in this state, actually, the pre-Civil War town, and there's a lot of Victorian mansions in that town. And a friend of mine dabbles in antiques in that area. He called me up one day, told me what he had, and I went over and took a look at it, and it's what I believe to be a 18th century beer mug that has a Danish crown-sized coin, Christian II.
Christian V.
Christian V.
1694.
Yes. And this is a magnificent piece, extremely high quality. And we came to terms on it, and I was fortunate to be able to acquire it.
Oh, that's really very nice.
Yeah, there's no chips on it. That's the first thing I do is I run and then the bottom.
Well, you mentioned that you took your gravy ladle or toddy ladle and used it on Christmas with your gold piece in it. Have you had
and Thanksgiving?
Have you had a mug out of here yet?
No, I've never
filled it with beer.
No, I've never done that. It's so fragile. I think I'll not do that. This is some type of painted porcelain. It's very, very fragile, and I think I'll just put this one back in the vault.
Well, thank you so much for showing us everything. We're gonna go ahead and take a break here, and we'll come back with watch fobs next, which is another area that you like to collect. And if you like our channel, please like and subscribe, and we will be back shortly.